Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Wednesday, May 9th, 2018, and here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front over there in Asia, Nikkei's down a bit, Hang Seng, Shanghai up a bit. Over there in Europe, everybody's up a bit. FTSE more than the other ones. Here in the States, NASDAQ up 1%, Dow up about 180 points. Gold, beep, down a little bit. Oil, woof, up over 3%, both West Texas and Brent crude. And Bitcoin, a little bounce on Bitcoin, hanging around that $9,200 mark. You know, people say Bitcoin's dead. Hey, it's still costing $9,000 plus to buy one. Now, we'll be talking more about that. Stocks rose on Wednesday as energy shares jumped on the back of a strong rally in oil prices. The move higher follows President Donald Trump's decision to pull the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal. So Chevron and ExxonMobil, boom, 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 they all go up. And not everybody's happy with this deal. Well, some folks over there in the Middle East like it, but not the people in Europe and China and Russia. No, they don't think it's such a good deal. And here's the headline in the New York Times. Trump abandons Iran pact he long scorned. Isn't that great? Oh, he long scorned it. So he decides for all the rest of us in the democracy of the United States. Oh, we are a little slave boys and slave girls. Oh, yeah, and that's not racist. It's black and white and all colors. Yeah, what a bunch of crap that we got this presidential reality show clown. I scorned it, so I decided it. And guess what, folks? The mainstream media, here, take a look. This story is out of the news today. Hey, did you hear about Stormy Daniels? Oh, you know that guy Cohen? Yeah, that's the garbage that they're spewing out. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. And if you want to know more of Trump abandons Iran pact he long scorned and what it means, the only place you're going to find it in detail is in your Trend Alert. Trend Alert. Trump's war will crash markets. And much, much more. This is just the beginning. Already, it's been reported that an hour after Trump made that speech, Israel fired missiles into Syria, hit an Iranian base, and killed over 15 of them, according to the reports. This thing is building. Your Trend Alert puts it into perspective on what to consider watching, what to consider doing, and what to consider avoiding as this crisis worsens, again, totally out of the news. USA Today, CNN, all cartoon garbage. So moving on here, gold. Well, gold again is the ultimate safe haven, but what's going on? Those oil prices, you know what they're going to do? They're going to raise inflation. Dollar's getting stronger. That's right. Dollar's getting stronger. All those emerging market currencies that we've been warning you about that were going to go down as the dollar went up, it's happening now big time. And you got the news right here. Argentine slides towards crisis, forcing Macri to call on the IMF. The IMF, the International Mafia Federation. Hey, You think those austerity measures that Macri threw on you, you think they're tough? Well, you got to live by the austerity measures of the International Mafia Federation. We're going to steal all your money. We got to give it to the guys that lost it, and you'll pay for it. We'll cut your benefits, your pensions, and we increase your retirement age to after you die. Argentina is seeking IMF aid after a series of drastic interest rate rises failed to stop the slide of the peso. Macri, the reform-minded president, announced the approach in a televised address. Reform-minded? Could anybody say deform-minded? That's how the media, the business media, keeps this big scam going. They call scamsters that are members of the mafia, the Banksters Association, reform-minded. This thing's serious over there. The talks took place as the peso plunged more than 5% to a record low to the dollar, taking its decline in the past 8 trading days to 12%, in spite of the central bank spending $5 billion in reserves and raising interest rates to 40%. Yep. So, again, putting it all together, the dollar's getting stronger. The emerging markets are deep in debt, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, between $6 and $10 trillion. As restrictions keep going on and sanctions pile on to Iran, less oil is going to be going out into the market. Will it be made up with the overproduction, or the increasing production, I should say, that's hitting now almost 11 million barrels a day in the United States, outproducing Saudi Arabia and just behind number one Russia, make up for that oil that Iran won't be selling? Temporarily, yes. But we still see the possibility of oil prices going up where the clown prince over there in Saudi Arabia wants them to, his first level of $80 a barrel. There's going to be more conflicts, more war, and an impact on equity markets and inflation. So as inflation goes up, the Fed over here raises interest rates more. All those emerging markets start falling down as their currency, whether it's the Indian rupee, the Argentinian peso, the Turkish lira, one after another, they're going down, and with them their economies. And then you look at the data coming in, and what does it say? Growth is weakening, trade war or no. Some important global trade indicators are suddenly pointing downward. They talk about China. They talk about the emerging markets. They talk about Europe. We're looking at weakening numbers across the globe. What we're saying is the markets cannot take a sharp hit from an outside wild card event. And that wild card event is the trump card, and it's been played. And what else do we have here? Vodafone and Liberty in £18 billion deal. Yep, another day, another merger and acquisition, companies getting bigger. That's why wages aren't going up. Everything is controlled by the plantation owners that the prostitutes like to call multinationals. Big banks thump their small rivals. That's right. Everybody's getting bigger. What is this, from the World Socialist Organization? Oh, no, the Wall Street Journal. It's a good time to be a mega bank. Yep, good time to be a mega plantation owner. In many businesses, the largest global banks, such as J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America, are getting bigger, while others are struggling to keep pace. The latest example, the volatility-induced surge in first quarter stock trading revenue that smaller U.S. investment banks almost universally missed out. Everything is going to the top. We've been getting a lot of questions about Bitcoin. Where's it going? It's not going anywhere. It's going to be around, as well as many of the other cryptocurrencies. You see the trends over the last few days. Yes, governments are going to try to regulate them, but they're also getting into them. Again, the world is going cashless. One of your top trends, if you remember, going cashless. Goldman, and of course this is a few days old, will open trade unit for Bitcoin. Bitcoin trades on Wall Street. The parent company of the New York Stock Exchange has been working on an online trading platform that would allow large investors to buy and hold Bitcoin. Now, when did the markets go down with this? Again, we said the when the futures exchanges allowed Bitcoin to be traded. So the bet was this, because most people in the crypto world know nothing about futures trading. They're millennial generations, a lot of them. I began futures trading in 1978, and I got burned by it. But I made money by it too. Naked shorts. No, not those kind of shorts. Don't report me to Me Too. Naked shorts of the market, meaning that they're betting that the price is going to go down. So you had more people betting the price was going to go down than to go up. So that's what happened with it. We don't see it going away. It's going to be here for a long time now that the institutions are getting involved in it. Kim goes to China for second Xi meeting. North Korean leader seeks to reassure Beijing of summit with Trump. Put this into perspective. Trump's taking all the credit. China's right next to North Korea, Russia's right on top of it. Xi has a lot of say in this. And during the meeting, Mr. Kim indicated he would pursue denuclearization in return for security assurances. As long as relevant parties eliminate the hostile policy and security threats against North Korea does not need to have nuclear weapons, and denuclearization is achievable, Mr. Kim was quoted by the Chinese news agency. But he's asking for assurances from China that this happens. And speaking of the lovely words of war, UN finds Afghan attack hit children the hardest. They're only Afghan children. Only 70 people died in this last attack, and most of them were women and children. U.S. report points to setbacks in Afghanistan. Setbacks in Afghanistan? Hey guys, all you people that love the military and says you're going to win, you've been at it for 17 years and they just said you're going backwards. And what did it cost so far? The U.S. has invested, not the U.S. has invested, we the stupid little people of Slavelandia, they stole our money, gave it to their military-industrial contractor friends for the total of $126 billion in various types of reconstruction and relief aid to Afghanistan since 2002. And the U.S. has spent more than $78 billion trying to build up the country's army and police force. Another failure, another failure. A government in name only in Afghanistan, a city on the brink. It's either guns or butter. You know my saying, the business of China is business, and boy, they're making it known. The business of America is war. Hey, Trump did great with the Iran deal, huh? Either guns or butter. And America's going for the guns, and the people are losing their butter. Peace has become a dirty word. There's been no protest about what Trump did, and the Democratic Party, the murderous Democratic Party, hardly a complaint coming out of them from Trump scratching out of the Iran deal. So remember, history before it happens. Check out your trend alert. You will see information, insights, observations, and forecasts guaranteed you will not find from any publication in the world. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.
Your armchair is so great.